Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here, and welcome to episode 48 of Journey Across the Void. In between episodes, really all I did was I waited for my star medal to finish in the Twilight Forest and got quite a bit of it, honestly. But I have already repurposed all of it to go into star metal dust and star metal ingots. I don't really have any need for the ingots right now, but I will have need for them a little bit later. I also discovered something about the Phosic Resonator, and that is the best area in my base for Starlight is right here in the middle of the Galacticraft area. So I may just have to repurpose the entirety of the Galacticraft area and move it somewhere else. I don't want to do that, but it's looking like I may have to. Because everything is in the way, and I want to be able to manipulate Starlight to the fullest in the overworld. So yeah, this is the best location right now. Wow, it's actually a very large area too. Yeah, it takes up about 4 chunks worth. Alright, so there is one more area up here at the top, but it's not going to be enough to serve our purposes. Let's see, where is it? I think it's right here. Yeah, right here. So this is actually a more powerful area. You can see how more intense the blue is. But unfortunately, yeah, I don't have enough space to be building up here. Oh wow, it extends all the way over here as well. Yeah, this is an amazing location. It's just a little too small. So we're going to make do with what we have. And we're going to repurpose the Galacticraft area. For now, everything that I do in this episode is going to be right here on the roof. And then over the weekend, I'll transfer everything over because moving that much Galacticraft stuff is going to be a hassle. That means I can no longer have in this floor right here, this third floor, is where my Galacticraft station is. I'm going to have to move it somewhere else. But anyway, this episode is going to be about the advanced portions of astral sorcery. So we're going to get into the rituals, we're going to get into attunement, and we are going to get into starlight infusing. Starlight infusing really isn't that difficult, but I'm going to have to get into it to make the resonating aquamarines. I believe they were resonating aquamarines. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, these resonating gems are going to need to go in the celestial altar in order to make me prism lenses, and the iridescent altar in order to make me my fully upgraded resonator. Oh, and they make me a heck of a lot more starlight inside the light wells as well. Yeah, without any further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so we are ready to start making our attunement altar. I think I have all of the stuff necessary in order to do it. Yes, I do. And I have enough starlight for it. Oh wow, this is not a very good amount of starlight. I upgraded my altar to the celestial altar. Let's begin this. You see all the particles. I disabled the little blocky particles that were part of this pack, mainly because I couldn't stand the look of them. They were just too large, and there are configurations for it. Like right now I have it bound to P, and I have it disabled, but you can change how the particles look. And I just didn't feel like messing around with that. So let's put this in the center. There we go. You see those particles? That means that the attunement altar is ready to go. I just have to choose a constellation to attune to. I also went by and finally found my 5th constellation, and I only have 5 unlocked to begin with. And I suppose for the purposes of showing this off, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to choose this constellation, and for that I need Spectral Relays. Now these Spectral Relays will allow you to, so I showed you the big blue patch that I have over here. I could theoretically take the starlight from this area and route it all the way over to my altar and have a better source of starlight. I don't plan on getting that in-depth into astral sorcery, not in this pack anyway, so I didn't feel like hooking those up, but it's absolutely something I can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my astral tome, shift right click, and we're going to take out, here we go, here's Avorcio. Hold it in my offhand, and you see these little blue lights? That means that I should be placing the spectral relays in those areas. So here we go. Which ones am I missing? Right here and right here. There we go. It recognizes the constellation as proper, and I can step into this altar. you see that I am now, oh man, it took my shirt away. But I am now being attuned to the Avorsio constellation. And I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but this is how the attunement... My glasses are gone too? Ugh, this is terrible. I can't see a thing without my glasses. But yeah, after this attunement process gets complete, then I will have access to the perk system. And I'll show you what the perk system is as soon as this completes. Alright, there we go. I have now been attuned to Avorsio. I'm going to take this back out of my hand, store it back in here again, and let's see what I have. Oh no. The perk system is still a part of Astral, isn't it? Should be. Well, if you give me just a second, I thought it was just called the perk system, or it used to be like Nomad or something like that. I'm gonna figure out what that is actually called, and then keybind it. Well, I just might be an idiot. It's right here inside the Astral Tome. So if you look inside here, you'll see that I have Avorsio highlighted in gold, and by default you have one perk, and I've already spent it here on this increased mining speed. So Avorsio, whenever you're attuned to Avorsio, I should say, that means that anything related to mining is going to have some sort of perk related to it over here in this portion of the tree. If you've ever played Final Fantasy X, then you're familiar with the sphere grid system, and this is pretty similar. I can go through this perk tree and I can access other perk trees, other sphere grids, if I have the points in order to go into it. In order to level this up, however, it's not a matter of just collecting experience levels. I have to break blocks, or if I was attuned to Dissidia, I would have to deal damage, take damage, travel the world, or build things. And depending on which one I'm attuned to, those are the things that you have to do in order to level them up, gain more points that you can spend on your perks. Now, by default, I cannot attune myself to multiple constellations. However, once I reach this portion right here, Singularity, it says other tree roots may be unlocked without requiring a connection to the existing perks. So normally, I would have to move my way down this way, and I could access Dissidia that way. However, once I reach Singularity, then I can attune myself. I obviously don't have the time to be going through and just breaking actually, I could break a bunch of blocks and level up the system that way. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait for next nighttime, and we're going to attune something else not related to myself. You know what? While I'm waiting for nighttime to happen, I'm just going to show you that in action. So if I open up the perk tree, you see a bar that appears right here. This is my current level as related to Astral Sorcery. This is how many perk points I have to spend. So I believe the maximum is 30, and getting up to 17 is pretty easy, but after that it gets noticeably more difficult. So, like I said in the last clip, I gain experience by breaking blocks. If I was attuned to Dissidia instead, I would gain experience by dealing damage. So, looking at that bar, I'm going to go deal damage to these Endermen. Here we go. Alright, I just dealt a bunch of damage to them, and looking back at my perk tree, I have no gain of experience here. However, if I was breaking some blocks, you see that the bar just increased, that the bar appeared and then started increasing. So, yeah, I'm now at level 2. If I continuously break all of these blocks, and I'm obviously not collecting them, I have my magnet off because I don't need this end stone right now. But, yeah, I'm now at level 3, and if I go to the Astral Tome, to the perks, I have 2 available points that I can spend right here. So I'm going to spend it right here, and I'm going to spend it right here. And now I have more increased mining speed. So this bar is really just an indicator for what level you are in Astral Sorcery, and then the yellow bar will fill up the more that the closer that you get to the next level. But say there was a perk inside your perk tree that you didn't really want, because like I said, you only have a maximum of 30 levels that you're going to be able to allocate to your perk system, and one of them just may not be as appetizing to you. So one thing that you can do is you can create a ceiling sigil. So I'm going to create that right now, at least one of them, and I'll show you how it works. Alright, there we go. I have a Sealing Sigil. Oh, let's take Armara out of here. I have a Sealing Sigil. I'm going to open up my Astral Tome, go to Perks, and you see that I have one Sealing Sigil in here. So say I didn't want increased perk effectiveness for whatever reason. Then I could take my Sealing Sigil and just drag it over here. Oh, what just happened? Oh my word, this is, every time I right click it takes out the yeah, drag and drop onto the perk I want to seal. That's very weird. I wonder. Alright, there we go. I just gave myself 2 more levels, so I have 2 available points that I can spend. I'm going to drag a Sealing Sigil onto this. And no, it does not work. It absolutely should work. Why isn't it? Oh! So I have to seal the perk I've already unlocked. And then when I double click it, I do not get that seal back for obvious reasons, but they're very cheap to make. That makes no sense. If I want to conserve points, like you saw, I didn't get those points back. It was still available points too. I don't like that system. I've never used the Sealing Sigil before because honestly it didn't really make sense, and I wasn't going into multiple trees the last time I used this in depth. So yeah, locking an already activated perk just doesn't make sense to me. But that is the Sealing Sigil. And then the next thing that we're going to create is right here, the Shifting Star. So the Shifting Star, I have more than enough starlight. Let's right click it and craft this up. Alright, here we are. I have the Shifting Star and I'm immediately going to use it. So just charge it up by holding right click. There we go. My light has faded. And you see I have no perks anymore. I am not attuned to any constellation. So here we go. I just stepped inside and now I am attuning myself to Armara instead. And there we go. I am now attuned to Armara. So I have perks available to me again. Everything has been reset down to 0. I no longer have the perks that I unlocked when I was attuned to Avorcio. And now I gain experience by taking damage. So Armara is all about defense. As I move down, I'm going to get more armor and I'm going to take less elemental damage. So there we go. I am now attuned to Armara. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in this crystal. Here we go. And now I am attuning a crystal to, oh man, I may not have enough time. Hopefully this works. I'm going to attune a crystal to Armara as well. This is a pretty weak rock crystal, and you can do this with celestial crystals as well. And it becomes necessary to attune it. There it goes. All right, so I don't think it did not finish attuning before the, oh man, that really, really stinks. Well, we'll just have to try again in the next night. As I was saying, if you throw in a crystal, oh come on, there we go. So if you throw in a crystal, you will attune the crystal to whatever constellation you have displayed on the Attunement Altar. So this could take a couple days, who knows, especially since some constellations only appear during certain days. So right now I don't have VCO available to me. So if I tried to put in all of the Spectral Relays for VCO in here, then that means I could not attune myself, or I could not attune a gem. Here we go. Got that. Yep, tuned to Armara. Cool. As I was saying, yeah, since VCO is not available in the sky, that means that it is not available for attunement. So putting in the proper Spectral Relays in the proper configuration would not work. Actually, just to show that off, I'm going to take VCO in my hand and I'm going to put VCO right here. Here we go. Alright, so I have all of these Spectral Relays properly placed right now for VCO, as you can see. However, it's not lighting up. Well, like I said, you need to have the constellation in the sky in order for the Attunement Altar to recognize it in the first place. And as far as this rock crystal goes, that is attuned to Armara, I'm not ready to use those just yet. That is going to be in the next episode. Because, yeah, I just looked at how much time I had while I was waiting for nighttime to show up, and I'm going to be a little over time. There is one last thing I want to go over in regards to the perk system. It's going to require a little bit to set that up, though, so I'll be back with you shortly. So what I have right here are 4 buckets of liquid starlight, and I have placed a rock crystal, just a random rock crystal, and a piece of glowstone inside each of them. And you see those particles that they're emitting. That means that they are in the process of creating something called Dynamism Gems. And the Dynamism Gems are, first of all, there are 3 different types. And those Dynamism Gems will allow you to, let's see if I can't find a gem slot somewhere. There is certain gem slots on here. Oh, there we go. Alright, so I have 1 gem growing right now. It is random what type of gem you're going to get. There are, like I said, 3 different types. So as this starts to grow, and it could take quite a while, then I will know what type of gem is growing here. But like I said, there are perks in here that require gem upgrades. So, oh man, so much has changed since the last time I gave a really good look at this. Here we go, gem socket. So if I put a dynamism gem inside this gem socket, then that means that parts of this entire section are going to be upgraded to whatever that dynamism gem happens to be. And I don't even know whether or not... Yeah, it doesn't look like the gems are showing up properly, so... Here they are. Alright, so you have the Orium gem, the Ilium gem, and the Fangarum gem. I do not know right off the top of my head what each of these are for. I would have to look that up. So allow me to do that, please, and then I will go over it. So at this point I was hoping to get the blue gem, but no such luck. So you know that the crystals are ready for harvesting because you see it has like that glow around it. So yeah, I have the Ilium gem. Let's harvest that. Here we go. And we'll harvest these 3 as well. So, yep, here we go. We have the Fangarum gems and 1 Ilium gem. So if you look at the Fangarum gems, you'll see that these stats are randomized. I was under the impression that each gem would do a certain thing for me, but nope, it's really just the look of them that is different. So, yeah, the Ilium gem will give me 6% increased melee damage, armor, and projectile damage. It's very nice. And then the Fangarum gem is right here. So really, it's instead of... Man, I was completely off when it came to upgrading these. So let's open the Astral Tome again. I said in the last clip that on the gem slot, which was right here, that by activating the gem slot, then things around it would be upgraded accordingly. That is not the case. By putting a gem inside the slot, I will instead just get the benefits of whatever gem I happen to slot inside there. So, yeah, I apologize for being wrong, but not really much that I can do about it right now. But I am ready to close out this episode. I have covered the attunement as much as I want to at this point, and in the next episode we will go over where did I put that attuned gem? Here we go. I will go over the attuned rock crystals, what they're actually going to be for, and then there are celestial crystals I still need to craft as well, using a similar process as what I did here with the glowstone. It's just a matter of throwing in a rock crystal and a piece of stardust. So yeah, that's there's that. In between episodes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my telescope to find the 7 remaining constellations that I have yet to find, the dim constellations. And then there are 4 more. I believe those are the faint constellations. But I was collecting some constellation paper while I was waiting, and I happened to have 5 of the dim constellations. So now that I've found them, then that means I can find them in the night sky. I still need to go get, I believe, Boots and Horogologium, however that's pronounced. But Horo is difficult to find because it appears very, very seldomly in the sky. So I have to make sure to keep an eye out for it whenever it happens to be in the sky. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do in between episodes. And I am Kelly Engineering. I suppose I should put a disclaimer here that obviously, because I was wrong 4 times in this episode, I do not know everything about this mod. I do not claim to. I do not pretend to. So if I have said anything wrong, do not hesitate to put it in the comments that I was wrong. And then, of course, what the correct information is so that other people reading the comments can know what was messed up and what the correct answer happens to be. But I am Kelly Engineering, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.